Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the software package known as INetUtils, how to use it and why you might want to start using it a bit more often. But first, before we proceed any further into the video, I would like to thank my channel member Mislav. They get early access to videos such as this one right here and a little badge next to the name that says they support me, so why don't you? Anyway, moving on to the video. Now what we have here is we've got our usual terminal. We've got all our stuff. Now, what we want to make sure is we've actually got INetUtils installed. Now, this is a standard bit of software. If you've watched any of my Linux from Scratch streams, you will know that INetUtils is actually part of the system. Let me just there we go. So INetUtils, it is a bunch of packages, so let's get it installed. So but it's not just one though, it's a load of different. We've got trace routing, so tools, telnet-d, telnet, we've got all sorts. So what we want to do is just pick one and get it installed. We'll go through some stuff. So we don't have to install, paste. Now it's saying it doesn't like it, and you know what? That's fine. So we'll install them all because we can do. And that's how you install multiple packages with the same name, by the way. Just do a quick and the asterisk, bada boom. So we've now got INetUtils installed. Now, what INetUtils does, it just gives you a bunch of networking commands and usability stuff directly inside your terminal if you're running on an environment that you would like this access to. Now, it's sort of a peace of mind thing. You don't really need it, but it's just nice to have. So we'll go over some of the built-in software of INetUtils and built-in functionality. So the first things first with INetUtils is what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick DNS name. So what this does is it just shows us what a DNS domain name would be for a system. So DNS. And then what we do is we just go, I don't know, google.com. And it's gone, okay, what's going on? So set the hostname from a file and all that. This command can get you the full hostname or the NIS domain name. You can also get the DNS for the FQDN unless you are to bind. So this is for setting some stuff. So first off, make sure I haven't just set mine to google.com. No, I haven't. That would have been funny. But also, that's the next command. Hostname. Now, this is what... So this here is the hostname. This here is the username. If I were to do sudo -i, that would be the hostname. But it's not. It is the system. It goes from username hostname to just hostname. So this is what the hostname does. It can set this and change it in a few different ways. And so that if we just do hostname -h, this gives a, again, list of things you can do to have a look and just get general information. So we could just get the log for this one. So we could just do hostname f. Again, because we don't actually have an FQDN as our host name, so a fully qualified domain name would be something like www.google.com. That would be a fully qualified domain name. So that's what that would be. So if we do hostname -i, that's the IP address. Again, that's fine. Then we'll just feed it a capital I. Those are all the addresses. Those are my local stuff. Is all fine. Now that we've looked at our hostname, what do we want? What can we look at next? Well, there is a brain catch up, there is other stuff such as IPconfig. Now, IPconfig, or let me just do IPconfig, is part of the packet. It's part of the INetUtils package. Now, with this, it is a bit older and it is less supported because it's older. So if I do IPconfig, nothing. If I do IAconfig, IPconfig, so IP help, and there you go. That would be exactly what you'd get there. Some of the syntax for this has changed. So what would have been IPconfig is now IPconfig. I don't know why. That's just what it's like. This bit of software that's built into INetUtils gives you the chance to change the address label, get some help on it, turn it off, turn it on, all of that good stuff, and it just allows you to set up a more granular. Well, it just gives you more granular control. So if we do IPA and look here, we see VIR BR0 is down. What we can do is we can do IP up and VIR BR0. So in this case, it's entirely possible that I am feeding it the wrong information. An A. Yes, well, I'm feeding it the wrong syntax, but in this case, I'm feeding it the wrong syntax, but that is how you do something similar. So IP help. Again, that's how we do it. We then go, okay, let us go for IP link BIRBR0 up. But somewhere along those lines would get you correct for that. There surely is a manual for getting that set up. I'm not the best with manuals. Next, we move on to a system logger. So, for example, logger. What that has just done is it's just sent some information to the command line, well, to the system log. Just as a, hey, look, this has been done. Yeah. So if we do systemctl status systemd, that is what is currently going on. Just giving us the usual. So if we just do journal ctl hyphen fu. And there we go. That's just general information, but it sends information logged so you can then check it later on, so on and so forth. So if we wanted to, we could then do, I don't know, logger system reboot. And that's now added it into the system log that we can then check and use later if we wanted to. Now, again, it's just this adding it into the default log. One we're all familiar with, ping. That is a part of INetUtils. Just standard usage, it's just how you want to do it. You can choose to do it in a load of different ways. In this case, what we can do is we can just do ping 1 and then give it to mask. That's just the exact same as just inputting the address. Simple. So again, if we just do -t Unsupport packet type mask. That's fine. Because there we go. Exactly the same. The T is specified as a type. We could choose get an address and get an echo from it, a mask, and timestamp. So in this case, what we can do is we can just do timestamp. And then, of course, we didn't get anything because it was expecting an echo. Of course, depends on whether Cloudflare accepts that sort of thing. So that's why there wasn't anything there. And then, of course, you can get some verbose. So there we go. So by ID, that and just gives us a bit more of a verbose information. And then if we really wanted to do something dumb, we could do ping. In this case, I'm only going to do it to a local because I don't actually want to do what I'm going to do to Cloudflare. What I'm doing here is I'm just flooding my router with packages. It sends them as fast as it possibly can. Now, you could do it if you wanted to. It's just to see how it would respond. And that's not really something you should be doing if you're intending on keeping access to your network. Definitely not something worth messing around with. And then, of course, what we can do is we can just get a record. So we can get a root for it. So 1 and then -r. And there we go. We have a root. Problem solved. Don't worry about the IP there. That's changed every day for the past 4 or 5 days. That'll more than likely be different by the time you see it. So I'm fine. But as we can see here, that's the route to 1 dot. Moving on to the final command we get to choose, or command that comes with INetUtils, TraceRoute. So TraceRoute is just a simple bog standard. What is the route and how can we get some more information back from it? So it gives us a load of choices and what we want to do. There's a lot of choices, actually, being entirely fair, but what we will do is we will just quickly do an IP6. So TraceRoute 1.1.1 and then 6. Yes, that's right, because it doesn't want an IP address, it wants one of them. And that would be the route if that was in IPv6. IPv4, that's how long it takes to get there. Cloudflare and its DNS is very cool. But this is just for general tracking and seeing how long, we'll see where your data is actually going. And to get some information. So if we decided to do that, that is also sent some. The reason why I do not have, because socket operation not permitted, is because we added that capital I, which is for a IMCP echo, which is just packet numbers. That's what that is, just tracking the packet numbers. That's all it is. So, for example, this would be packet. Well, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way there. That's just the naming scheme. And then, for example, we can also do method. So we could just do traceroute cloudflare.com capital M, and now we need to give it a method. So in this case, supported choices are ICMP and UDP. So ICMP or UDP. ICP does tracking. UDP does not give a fuck. And we'll just keep going until it doesn't get an answer anymore, because, as I'm sure you're all aware, with UDP, Doesn't care if it gets an answer, it doesn't verify it. So there you go. And one final use of it, we can then try and resolve host names for it. So in this case, we do traceroute cloudflare.com and then resolve host names. So in this case, have I spelled this correctly? So double resolve host. So in this case, the resolve hostname is not working, even though that is correct syntax. Yeah, it's not working, even though it is correct syntax according to the manual page. Because the information I'm just giving you has been fed correctly. But if yeah, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. I know it's not the greatest this time around, but joys of working night shift. Anyway. Those of whom who love watching, hope you have a wonderful good day, good evening, good night, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Goodbye.